The Orlando First regional robotics coverage is proudly powered by the Microsoft Store. Take the work out of play with entertaining tablets. Combine both with the Surface 2 or prepare for Titanfall with the Xbox One. The Microsoft Store has it all, and you can find it at f5live.tv/Microsoft.
All right, so next we've got Nikhil. Excellent. What team are you from?
I'm from Team 7477, Super 7.
Which is actually an FTC team,
Yes,
right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
We've had an opportunity to spend some time with you guys throughout the season because you're from obviously from the area. You guys did really well at the state competition, and you went to the Super Regionals, right? So how did that go for you?
It was quietly a new experience for us, especially since Super Regionals is an entirely new, different thing. It was the first, I've been in First for 4 years, and it was the first time that we actually got to move out of the state for a competition, so that was a new experience for us.
Nice.
Moving from FLL to FTC, it was also new because we were going against a different competition. In FLL, it's all a small robot, more simple, and it's just autonomous where you don't control it. Now it's larger robots doing much more complicated tasks, and you get to control the robot now, which is a whole new different experience for us. So it's been really fun.
So
actually.
FLL is First Lego League,
Yes,
right? So that's the league before FTC.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And you were in that for 3 years before going to FTC? Gotcha. So how old is Super 7?
Super 7 has been along since I've been there, so 4 years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so Super 7 was a Lego League team that moved up?
Super 7 was a Lego League team that moved up.
So this was Super 7's first
year at FTC. Yes.
Okay, very cool. So how did Super 7 come about?
Well, Super 7 was basically, it's different than many teams because it's just a bunch of friends that have come together to do robotics. We got started when my friend and I were introduced to the NXT, and then we read, and our mentors found out something about FLL, and we had to join that. And then we've been learning about NXT, programming, building, all this kind of stuff, and then after we've done FLL for so many years, you eventually get used to the whole routine and you get kind of sort of bored of it, I guess you could say. And then we wanted to get a new challenge, so one of my friends suggested, why don't we move up one level? So we decided to do that. And it was very overwhelming for us at first, especially with all the high schoolers and the larger robots and all the moving parts and the motors. So
it's certainly a bigger set. Now, speaking of bigger, what's going on behind us
is insane.
Makes the stuff that you guys do in FTC look miniature. How has been being here today gone for you?
Well, I came here once when I was in FLL, and I was completely overwhelmed by this entire thing, how there were maybe 20, even 30 times larger than my little tiny robot that I had here, and how they were programming it in a language that I didn't completely understand at all. Bunch of random words on the screen, and seeing all these students, like our little FLL team was maybe 8 students, seeing teams with maybe 20 or more was kind of like wow for us.
Yeah, then you've got teams like the Ninjineers down here that take up an entire section behind us.
There's 140 of them or something. I don't know.
Some crazy, ridiculous number.
But what makes them interesting, I just want to comment, for those who haven't experienced Super 7 yet, we've only covered Robocons, so it's a little bit different. What they don't have in numbers, they make up for in excitement. It's crazy. You guys, we've seen you across the season now. Excited bunch, and I love that about the younger teams because they bring it's refreshing. Bad pun on words, but it's refreshing to see that energy back in. So I think a lot of teams learn from you guys to stay so positive and keep going, and you don't really see that with the teams that have been there a little bit longer. They kind of it's kind of more contained.
And one of the things that I really liked having dealt with you guys was after the state competition.
Oh yeah,
you guys came to us and asked for advice. For those who have been following along with us for a while, we did judging throughout the season. I did a lot of notebook judging. So you guys actually came to us and asked for advice. and really kind of nobody else did. Some of the teams I went up to, like, hey, next year, please fix this in your book. It's gonna give you like 6 extra points. Please fix this. You guys didn't have anything like glaring that was a problem, but you did. You wanted to better yourselves before you went on.
That speaks a lot.
And that was really great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and if you got to look at our engineering notebook, I don't know if you did, in the super regional competition, we actually took some of your advice.
Awesome.
And we were able to get a really high score with the engineering notebook.
Really?
Fantastic.
Excellent. I would love to see that sometime.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure out a way to make that happen. All right, so I appreciate you coming and talking.
Thank you, Nikhil.
We've got somebody else from your team who's going to talk in just a second, so we'll let you guys switch out. I'm so glad to see that the FTC teams are here.
It's nice.
Team Duct Tape is going to be here tomorrow.
Yes.
They've got something they're showing off tomorrow. Obviously, Super 7 is here with us today. And I think it's a really great idea because, you know, what's happening behind us here, you guys probably just saw that wave that went all the way through here. That kind of stuff, this arena is kind of unlike anything that we see in FTC because this is the state competition, and we've filled this thing.
Yep.
We didn't do that at FTC.
No.
We probably did at the super regionals, but you know, to see this now is unbelievable. Welcome.
Well, we got somebody else.
Yes, we do.
This is good.
All right. Your name is?
Varadha or V.
Just V?
Yeah, V.
Can I go with V?
All right.
Yeah, you can.
I can't roll the R's. Like, what you just did is not something I'm capable of doing. So V at Super 7 is here. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So how long have you been on the team?
I've been on the team for 3 years, but I have been in another team for 1 year. So in all, I've been doing first for 4 years.
Okay. So I imagine you started in LEGO League.
First Lego.
And then moved up to FTC.
Yes.
What was that transition like for you?
Well, it was different, and I liked it because I actually got to control the robot.
Right.
And it made it much easier, but at the same time, it put a lot more pressure on you.
Sure. It certainly puts pressure on whoever ends up being the driver.
Yes.
At least when it's all autonomous. We made a mistake.
Yeah.
When somebody's driving it, you're like, it's easy to start pointing fingers. So now you're here at an FRC competition. It's obviously a different experience.
Yes, it is.
Is this your first FRC, getting to see the big guys in action?
Yeah.
How's this been for you?
It's amazing.
It's hard not to look around, isn't it? I'm having trouble staying focused myself because there's so much craziness.
That's why we point the cameras that way and we go this way.
What's been your favorite thing you've seen out here?
Well, I saw one of the teams. They launched a ball straight into the crowd.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've seen that. And you're like, that's really big and traveling
Let's stay back.
pretty quick. Yeah. So, launching stuff. That's pretty crazy compared to the blocks and stuff from FTC, right? You think FTC is ever gonna try and launch something, or you think that they're gonna leave that to the big ones?
It's a possibility, but for now, they're not going to launch anything.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good idea. I know at the state launch event for the game this year at Middleton, somebody guessed that they were going to do flying.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're still 2 years out from that.
You've dealt with the hardware. Those motors aren't going to spin fast enough to launch that.
They're not going to spin fast enough to fly.
So, have you picked up ideas from back here?
Well, for picking up blocks, there's not many ideas.
No, but the idea of problem solving in general, there's things to be learned. Have you had an opportunity to walk through the pits at all?
Yes,
certainly some interesting things happening there that
Yeah.
I'd imagine you've been taking notes on. We saw somebody sawing a big block of metal earlier in the pits. That was interesting to watch. He was moving.
Oh, yeah.
Handsaw.
Yeah.
He's moving. Yeah.
Handsaw for metal.
Yeah. No.
I don't see that a lot.
It's hardcore, dude.
It was pretty insane. My guess is they're not allowed to use power tools. It was kind of.
Well, some team had actually they had a drill press.
You know, I heard a drill running at one point, so I imagined that somebody was allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, craziest thing you've seen one of the robots do?
Here?
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't much crazy.
The game doesn't really call for it this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, last year the Frisbees coming out of the arena, taking out people. You know, that was intense.
That's what got crazy.
And then the climbing.
Yeah.
If you saw any of the robots from last year, them climbing up the little pyramids, some of that stuff was crazy.
This year, throwing balls around. The only thing that I'd consider crazy is smashing like $5,000 robots into each other.
You know, you do what you got to do.
Well, you know, there's that. That is pretty nutso. So you've had a good time, though?
Yes, I have.
Awesome.
Excellent. That's the important part. And you've gotten to see a whole new group of engineers in action.
Yes, it's true.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
we really
Steve.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we hope you guys have a good season. We'll see you guys next year.
Yep.
All right.
Really great stuff. For
I know.
Sure.
I'm so glad that we've had the opportunity to get involved in this.
Me too. You hooked me in. I'm sunk. I'm here. But